Good morning, class 6. Today we will do the last chapter of your EVS, disposal of waste. Please see the new terms: methane, colorless, odorless, inflammable gas; bulldozer, powerful and heavy tractor to level ground; trench, narrow depression; chimney, vertical channel to release smoke; pile, heap of things; sorting, arranging; recycle, to reuse; debris, scattered solid things; sludge, thick mud. Before I proceed, children, I would like to inform you that the format of your paper, examination paper, has been changed. So please attend the live class for getting the updates how you will be getting the annual examination question paper. Okay. Amount of waste is increasing day by day in most parts of the world. The problem of disposal of waste is also increasing every day. In the developing countries, the waste disposal facilities are less, but much of the waste is diverted by recycling. In the developed countries, the waste disposal facilities are sophisticated. If waste is not properly disposed, it may affect our environment. It can pollute air, water, and land and lead to many health hazards. Solid waste disposal. Solid waste includes solid and semi solid material resulting from human and animal activities. Various forms of solid waste are garbage of food, construction or debris, trees, dead animals, industrial waste like chemicals, mining waste in the form of heaps, agricultural waste as manure and crop residues, ash. Solid material retained on sewage treatment, rubbish like paper, wood, glass, ceramics, cloth, etc. The various methods of solid waste disposal are, so you know that there are it can be solid waste. We have studied about the biodegradable and non biodegradable waste. So now what is the method of disposing of the solid waste? Landfill. It is the most common method of disposing waste in on land. It is also the cheapest means because transport cost is the only major expenditure. In a modern landfill, the solid waste is spread in thin layers. Each layer is solidified by bulldozer before the next layer is deposited. So you must have understood why this is done, so that it settles down. After every 3 meters, a layer of clean earth is added, and that is also solidified by bulldozer. Sites of landfills are so selected that flood water doesn't reach there. Underground water level should also be low. Normally gases are generated in landfills, but they are released by venting method. Large amount of methane can be disastrous. So how the landfill is selected? It is like they make sure that the flood water doesn't reach there. The underground water level is also very low, so that if little bit of water is just released from the solid waste, it does not affect the underground water, and the gas which is released, they control it through the venting that method, that is like ventilators, right? Then incinerators. In the incinerator, the waste is burned so that it reduces in weight and volume. Around 90% waste is reduced by this method. This method is not suitable where waste is mainly organic and of dust, as in case of India and many other developing countries. In many cases, new compounds are formed. While burning the waste, traditional incinerators pollute the air by smoke and ash, but modern incinerators control this pollution with the help of filter bags, precipitators, and wet scrubbers. Some incinerators generate energy from the burning waste by making steam. So, the we leave aside the developing countries where the waste could be the the mud, and but then if we do not talk about the mud, then the other countries where the this method is very much applicable, but then it should not be applied where organic waste is released. Now the difference between the traditional incinerator and the modern incinerator is. Traditional incinerator, it pollutes the air, and because it burns, so lot of smoke and gas air is released. But modern incinerator, what they do is they control the pollution with the help of filter bags, precipitators and wet scrubbers. Now, third method is composting, is a process of decomposing solid waste to make fertilizer. The waste has to be sorted so that only those are selected that can be decomposed, like paper, wood, leaves, etc. Things like plastic and glass cannot be composted. The waste is layered in such a way that air can enter easily. A little water is added to the pile for easy decomposition. After a few days, the pile or heap is covered so that heat and steam can decompose the matter faster. After about 3 weeks, it can be used as manure. You must have seen that many people do it in their garden and, like, at one of the corners, and it is very helpful because it can be made at home, and it is a very, good manure. Then comes the recycling. It is very old method in which the waste things are made reusable. All the metal products can be melted to make new product. This was done even in the prehistoric times. In this method also, the goods are separated. It is done with the help of magnetic devices that can separate the metallic things. Further sorting is done by adding water to the waste. Plastic things can be melted to make new plastic things. Glass is 100% recyclable. Paper is also recyclable. Nuclear waste. Rag pickers are environment friendly. Nuclear waste. The waste of nuclear energy are classified as high level waste, intermediate level waste and low level waste. These levels are classified on the basis of amount of radioactivity. The high level waste is the most radioactive. It remains radioactive for thousands of years and is capable of destroying all life of the area. Many places are being discussed internationally to dispose the nuclear waste. Many countries are dumping it in the trenches that are concrete lined so that it cannot mix with the underground water or the soils of the area. Liquid waste disposal. Till now we have talked about the solid waste. Now we are going to talk about the liquid waste disposal. Waste water can bring harm to the environment. Therefore, it is important to treat the liquid waste in such a way that it cannot damage the environment. The process involved in the liquid waste are debris removal. When wastewater starts getting treatment in the chamber, first of all the solid debris are removed so that they do not damage the machinery. Then is grit chamber. Here the solid particles like sand, gravel, cinders, etc. are allowed to settle down. Later they are removed as solid waste to be taken to landfill. So, first of all in debris removal, they obviously solid debris have to be removed, otherwise they might damage the machinery. In grit chamber, the solid particles like sand or gravel, they are they leave it so that they can settle down. It settles down and then the solid waste, it can be taken for the to the landfill areas. Sedimentation. After removing the grit of the first stage, the wastewater passes into the next chamber, that is sedimentation tank. Here the fine organic material settles down, which later is removed. Some chemicals like aluminum sulfate and ferric chloride are added to the water for easy sedimentation. Then comes flotation. In this stage, air is forced into the water. The bubbles thus formed bring up the suspended particles and are removed easily. Digestion. In this stage, many chemical reactions take place, making the water as sludge. This sludge is heated and after about 30 days, the sludge is decomposed. Then it reduces to 50%. Drying. In this stage, the sludge is spread into thin layers on sand. Here it is dried for some days. After drying, it is used as fertilizer. Then comes the septic tank. It is a tank used to treat the domestic sewage only. It is a concrete or metal tank with a submerged outlet. You must have seen it as outside the house. In this tank, the solids settle and floatable materials rise. A liquid stream flows through the submerged outlet and percolates down to the soil. The floating material and settled solid can remain there for about a year or so. Gaseous waste disposal. Gaseous waste is emitted mainly in the form of smoke. This smoke is generated from the vehicular traffic and the chimneys of the factories. It is not easy to dispose of the gaseous waste like solid and liquid waste. The moment gaseous waste is generated, it immediately mixes with the air. Excessive release of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and many other gases has resulted in acid rain and greenhouse effect. However, we can try to minimize the generation of gaseous waste. Several ways to minimize its generation and proper disposal are complete burning of fuel. Vehicular exhaust can be controlled if fuels are burned as completely as possible. The engines should be so designed that they completely burn the fuel. Tall smokestacks. Smokestacks should be tall so that the smoke released is boosted high into the atmosphere. It is not a method to control the air pollution, but going higher will dilute the adverse effect. Electrostatic precipitators. It is a device to remove the impurities from air. It can be fixed at the mouth of the chimney or smokestack of a factory or a thermal plant. It can collect all the fine impurities from the smoke. It is a very costly device but very effective than normal filters and precipitators. So electrostatic precipitators, it removes the impurity which is there in the air, and it is usually fixed at the mouth of the chimney or the smokestack from where the gas is released in the thermal plant or a factory. And what it does is collect all fine impurities from the smoke. So obviously it will reduce the pollution, but then it is very expensive. Children, I have sent you the question answers and the exercises. Please do them in your notebook. Prepare hard for your examination. Thank you, children. Take care of yourselves.